see the way the world turned what happened to me. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is the place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the American dream? I keep searching for that dream of me, hoping someday that I will see myself in American dream.
How y'all doing, Blue Dots? It is Sunday, baby. It is Sunday. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting. And I'm so glad y'all are here. Anyway, let's get that out there. Anyway, Michael James was the first one to jump in, followed by Nancy Halverson. The remixtress is with us. Jeff Curry's here. Dorothy Tyndall. Let me see. Michael Johnson is with us. Happy birthday, Michael. Robin Lyons is here. Let me see. Randy Peterson only got 3 days left, and he's heading to Arkansas, baby, getting out of that cold weather. Get back down here where it's a little warmer. Dolores Grant is here. Gene Prim. Donald Ware, thank you, sir. Stephanie Dean, and Jay Clayton. That's right, buddy. Got to step up the game, man. Yeah, I got a lead on you now, brother. I won't hold it long, so yeah, I'm going to hang on to it. Anyway, I'm just so glad you're both here. Michael Falbister, Mark Perkins, Tina Riley is here. Teresa Rojas, mi amiga up in Chicago, baby, buenos dias. I'm glad you're here. Our own Bernadette Pree, always thank you very much, baby, for being here. We appreciate you so much. Carol Gillens, John in Poughkeepsie is with us. Maria Betancourt, Irish Giselle, thank you. Nana Lovely, a.k.a. Tammy Ames, how you doing, baby? Watch that boy out there in the street, that car down. Gonna smoke them tires. Karen Van Wyck is here. See, didn't even hesitate. Just pointing that out. Curtis Wood is here. Carol Gillens, BW, George Murray. Thank you, Mike. Let me see. Suzanne Jarrett. Thank you, baby, for always being there. And Kelly K. Duncan, Keith Ellis. Appreciate all you. Steve P. is here. Lady Freedom Roxon and Z, she does. Brian Champagne and Sonia C. Anyway, first off, I want to tell everybody thank you very much for all the well-wishing and the happy anniversaries we got and messages and comments from everybody in the family. Marcia and I did indeed celebrate our 45th anniversary on Friday. And so that's why we celebrated Beer and Bud the night before. And to answer the question everybody's wanting to know, well, John, did you take her out to dinner? Sorta. We did have dinner out. We did not go into a restaurant. She didn't want to go into a restaurant, so what I did was I went and picked up one of her favorite meals, fried shrimp. Went to Chili's and got meals. And then we went to a place here in Corpus Christi called West Guth Park. And we went all the way in the back of the park, up on this little hill, where a little circular thing is up there with little swings and stuff. And we had dinner out there in the park. And that was the very first place Marcia and I used to go sit and discuss things all the time, ways of the world and stuff. Anyway, we did indeed have a wonderful evening that night, and I want to thank everybody who sent well wishes. And So yeah, we had a wonderful weekend together, and then today I was on the Tim Cormall show. I had a wonderful time on there, Tim, with Adam, with Richard, Joe, and Tim. The whole gang was there. It was a good show. I shared it on my Facebook page, and if you haven't, look wherever you get your podcast. Look for the Tim Cormall show. It's right there. Anyway, with all that going on, well, I had great discussions on the on Tim's show today, and other than that, I was with Marsha most of the weekend, as I had best be, and let me fix this stuff. So I didn't get into a lot of news, but there was an overwhelming thought in my head as I was on Tim's show earlier today, and it more or less a question in my head. I don't like these questions that come into my head sometimes, and because it concerns our nation, our country, baby, and what we're going to do. I wrote down a question because I like to write shit down when I think about it, you know. And the question I wrote down is, have we lost our way? Are we able to sustain the democracy that we hold now? It's one of those questions I like to ask, and then I'll try to develop a rant, if you will, concentrating on a single subject. And that bothers me that I picked that one, because it's a question in our mind. You know, if you listen to the talking heads on TV nowadays, hell, Republicans have got it in the bag for 22, baby. They're going to take the House and the Senate, and that's it. It's game over. That bothers me. It bothers me a whole lot because it's a possibility. It's a possibility, and if they do, think of the ramifications of that. Will we be able to come together as a country and hold on to this democracy, or will we just watch it slide out the damn door the next time Donnie runs in 24 or some shit? And if it ain't him, it's going to be somebody worse, because the Republicans have a habit now of just going downhill. So I have to worry. But the only answer to that question is one that is always so obvious, but yet so hard to grasp sometimes. And that is we hold our future in our hand. With every election, we hold our future in our hand, in the ballot. Who we choose as our leaders. So yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the numbers. I think the Democrats far outnumber Republicans in this day and age. Hell, as far as I can see, the hardcore maggots, they only reach up into like 30% of this nation, if that. But it's not about a majority nowadays. It's where those votes are and how the game's played. So is there a possibility? Yes, there's a damn good possibility. It could happen. There's a variety of ways. They say, hell, they could just appoint him Speaker of the House, and next thing you know, boom. He's president after the impeachment trials of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. There's a lot of bad scenarios. But again, the answer is within our hands. It's within our voice. It's how determined we are to get out there. I like to think that you know, every day we're seeing the news in Ukraine, and I want to be able to have the courage of Ukraine. I want to be able to display the humanitarian outreach that Poland and Moldova have shown. That's the country I want. I want to be that country. It's within our grasp. It's within our possibility. But we're too caught up in other shit here at home. We have a former president that's in the middle of a war asking Putin for damn help. So yeah, those questions stick in my head. Are we going to be the people that is going to rescue this democracy? Are we the ones going to stand our ground? I want to hope so. I want to believe we are. Then when shit hits the fan, we all come together. You know, the tragedies coming out of Ukraine now. the discovery in Bucha. That is in the news now. The mayor of that town said there could be a possible 300 people buried in a mass grave there. People shot in the street, over 20 bodies laying in the street, some with their hands tied behind their back. I believe we have a moral duty to give Ukraine every freaking thing they can take. Hell, we'll fly the freaking jets in there ourselves. Here you go. Land them right there. You go fly them up there and do the war. I don't give a shit what Putin thinks at this point. These are war crimes. These are monstrosities that are going to have to be, somebody's got to be held account for this shit. But the courage of Ukraine comes through. You know, there's people that they showed on the evening news this evening that are loading up in buses, not to get out of Ukraine, but to go back in. To go back in. We're talking women and children. They want to go home. They want to push for their homeland, for their sovereignty. I hope we don't have to do that. But we can't be afraid to stand up for the right thing. It's what our country is supposed to be. We're supposed to be that. We're supposed to be the shining city on the hill, as Reagan put it. I just want to see that. And it's us. It's us that has to do it. E pluribus unum, out of many one. That's the only way we go. We're so divided now, I don't know we can make that. We're still having attacks on our democracy as we speak. The former guy's still trying to get back in. I hope we have that kind of courage. Anyway, I want to thank Dwayne Dwizzle, who just came in with a $5 donation and said, I heard Republicans are boycotting Disney. Now Disney is the happiest place on earth. Indeed. I'm all for every Republican. They should not go to Disneyland. They should boycott the shit out of it, and it'll become a much happier place. So thank you, Dwayne Dwizzle. I appreciate that indeed. That's a good idea. Let them boycott. Anyway, Aussie, Dave, how in the hell are you? Aussie, are you with me? I'm not getting Aussie. He's in the room. Let me see if I can. Did I do something? Have I not hit the right button? Let's see here. Is Spark in the room? Oh shit. Oh shit. I have failed to do something evidently. Oh crap. Oh crap. This is not good. Is this? No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. What is? Oh no. Oh no. Tell me. I am not connected. Ah, dog it. I am sorry, everybody. I'm here by myself. Travis is still in town. To everybody in the room, if you can hear me, which I don't think you can, I'm going to have to exit the stage and re-enter the room and start the room all over again. Oh, tell me I don't have to type in a title. Are you shitting me? See the entertainment y'all get just going. Wait a minute. I also mentioned I'm going blind. All right, here it is. There it is, the live room. Let's go. Start the stage. Title is whatever I just typed in, which is nothing. And now let's see if I can connect. I am connected. And now I should be able to bring up somebody and see if somebody can hear me. I am connected in the voice. That's what it was. I wasn't connected on Discord. When you go into Discord, you have to connect. Dave, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Outstanding. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, so you can hear. Yeah, that's right, mate. Your rant was. I was listening to your rant on my mobile phone while I'm on the computer because my computer won't do two things at once. But I didn't realise you could hear me, the rant through the headset, but we couldn't hear you. So it was a bit of confusion there.
Yeah, I apologize to everybody in Discord.
You're live.
Yeah, it's one of them
Doesn't matter.
things.
You're with us now.
But
Yeah, it's standard.
yes,
Standard
Gene
procedure.
Shanky, it is all my bad. There's nobody else here to blame but me, baby. It's when I screw up big. It should be a green light down there, and there was a red light when I looked. So yeah. Anyway, Dave, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How are you?
Well, I'm fine. It's COVID's taken off down here again.
Oh,
We
that's
got
not good.
slack with it. I think I mentioned last time it was getting more cases going to hospital. It was a bit more serious. Well, it's still developing that way. So COVID's still rearing its ugly head over here.
Yeah.
As we all thought we had control. We thought we were great. New Zealand, Australia, we've done the right thing. But this new variant has done a number on us, and we dropped our guard, and it got us, and
Yeah.
now we're fighting the battle again.
We're not done with it,
It's like
Dave.
fighting Donald Trump.
I'm fixing to go get my
No.
my second booster, buddy. The CDC came out with a recommendation if you're 50 years and older, and I barely made it. You should get a second booster. I fall in right at there.
Well,
50 and a half years old. I figure that's good. Yeah.
I'm wondering when they'll come up
That
with
was a long time
with a
ago.
vaccination, which is the one shot. Eventually they'll come up with a one-shot vaccination. I'm
Well,
sure.
they're talking about the possibility that that we could be looking at a situation where it's a yearly shot, like we do the flu shot.
Okay,
So we might have
Yep.
to get a booster
but we're
every
going to make
year.
sure it doesn't kill people first.
There you go.
It's still a deadly thing. It's a deadly thing. A flu can be deadly to the wrong people, but this is definitely a deadly thing.
Yeah.
It's not like the flu, so we're going to be careful. But my point, there's something it's bouncing around Australia at the moment, and most of New Zealand and a bit of Asia. The comeback of the king, Donald Trump.
Right.
That's what they're calling him, right? Now, there's no freaking chance this man could run and come back again. Certainly not.
Not in a.
Surely. But
I don't believe he would garner enough votes to win, but that's not the point. He's gonna say it
can't
was
believe
stolen, and we're gonna go right into this thing again.
yes, that's where I think it's going to head.
Yeah.
And I think
That's what I believe.
everyone's sick of hearing Merrick Garland being bashed. I don't know whether Merrick Garland's doing something very clever in the background, or he's just playing the clock out till
From your mouth to God's ears, they say.
But he's not explaining himself very well. He's not explaining himself
Yeah.
to people very well at all. He's just saying, we'll follow the evidence where it takes us.
Yeah.
But we know what the evidence is. We know everyone knows he's.
If he's got something, I want to see it. I don't want to wait until after the elections. If the Republicans take the House and the Senate, and then Merrick Garland comes out and says, "Oh, okay, I didn't want it to look political, but here you go. Here's the dirt on it."
Like Bill
I don't
Barr.
want that shit.
Like Bill Barr.
If there is a crime committed, like I say, if we're a nation of laws or not, we're not supposed to let politics enter into the decisions of our judges or the Department of Justice. So, the nation is sitting out here with a whole lot of, the Manhattan District Office up there in New York. The prosecutors there have already come out. They say, yes, we got evidence of crimes here. We saw crimes in the Mueller report. Are you shitting me? And yet the country is still waiting here for some kind of action on this shit. We're a nation of laws, or we're not. Michael James.
Why is he so golden?
Huh? What's that?
Sorry, mate. Bring Michael. I just said, why is he so golden?
I don't know. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he is a meticulous man, and he wants to make sure all the T's are dotted and the I's are crossed. I don't know. But
Sure.
I think it's time. Michael, go ahead. And by the way, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir, and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Glad you had a great anniversary, and
We did
extend
indeed.
that to extend that to Marsha from all of us, please. Dave, as far as Trump being golden, I think. Well, first off, look, we've been looking for Trump to be arrested or just held accountable for 6 years. We're going into our 6th year of, God damn it, he just broke the law again, and still nothing. nothing's going to happen to the guy because he was the president of the United States of America. And for America to prosecute him is like America giving itself a black eye in their view, not in the American people's view. The American people want accountability.
Yeah.
The government isn't going to do that with Trump. It's not.
So is Nixon.
Well, Nixon was a different era.
Well, Nixon saw the light. Nixon resigned. When the Republicans went up there and told him, this is it, buddy, we're going to have to convict your ass. Yeah, we don't have those Republicans anymore.
Right. If we had those Republicans, it would be a different story.
It would be. If there was any integrity left within the Republican Party, then we wouldn't have this problem.
Mitch McConnell voted no on the impeachment and 1 minute later said he was guilty of crimes. So, we're never going to have that. And John,
yes, sir.
The question that you asked at the top of the hour, where is America headed, or are we too far gone? I forget how you said it, but that is the question that
do we have the ability to hang on to our democracy? It's one of those questions that I try to write down that stems my thought process. But this one, it's the more, ever since Trump came in, the fact that he got elected was enough for me to start questioning the future of our democracy. They elected this disgusting creature into our house, and he did exactly what we all knew he was going to do. But now that he's gone, now that he's solidly defeated, he is still out there, and he wants more, and there are those in this country that are willing to give it to him. And the level of some of those people. I mean, they're not all maggots out there flying the Confederate flag. As we've seen with Jenny Thomas, these are not all just rednecks that just love Donnie.
Donna, man, this is too big of a story to be able to sum up in. If you gave me the floor for 20 minutes, I could throw enough dots out there where we all know that fascism started taking hold in the 80s with Reagan. We saw it. But it was that time, like you talk about a slow-moving coup, they started defunding schools. They started dumbing us down.
They're still trying.
They started deregulating. The FCC and the propaganda started opening up. Now it's bad. Now, I posed the question the other day, whose propaganda is worse, ours or Russian? Because our propaganda has 40% of the country supporting an insurrection against democracy in favor of fascism. That's how strong our propaganda is.
That's what I mean. It calls into question our own ability to maintain this democracy, to ensure that your vote counts. Because I guarantee if Trump does get in there by some fucking fucked up deal, things are going to change in this country, and they ain't going to be for the better. Sure, comrade, go vote all you want.
A fucked up deal is, John, it already started. Now it's so far gone. Every aspect of the takeover is now in place, and now the final straw is they're taking our fucking votes away.
They're trying hard,
taking
baby.
Our fucking votes away.
And that is the power.
What makes me angry, Michael? What makes me angry is the fact that you're seeing this as an American. John, you're seeing it. Bernadette, you're seeing it. Everyone's seeing it. But the fact is they're still letting it happen. And they're all not fighting back and saying, hang on a second.
There are those that are complicit in this shit.
Complacency is the problem here. People think, the other guy will fix it, or someone else will vote, or this is how you've got to this situation. Yeah. And the rich have seen this gap in the complacency and thought, we can capitalize on this, and fascism is running your country. Fascism is causing most of the problems around the world. Fascism is why Ukraine's fucked. It's all greed, money, and power. It's not you, it's not me, not the voter, it's the people who are in power, who have said, I'm going to do the right thing by the people. When I get the power, I'm going to look after you people. And when I get in power, how much money can I fucking make?
Right.
And who do I burn to get there?
Yeah.
And that's what politics has become.
Let's
It's become a dirty freaking game.
It is. Let's let Bernadette jump into the room because she's with us. Bernadette, how are you, darling?
I'm fine. What I need to say is that we were told a while ago, and we've been saying it all along, that the vote was going to be taken away. And here's the reason why. Trump fucked over the census. Had he not done that, these Republican legislatures would not be able to pass these very repressive laws that they're getting away with passing. We saw this coming, guys. We could be pissed, we could be whatever, but we saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen. They told us it was going to happen.
We said it 5 years ago on this show.
Well, part of that problem is it's a small fraction of us that are aware. Like Dave was saying, we all see it. We don't. Half of this country watches Fox News. They see.
No, it's not about that. Yes, it ain't even half the country watches Fox News. It's the hardcore Republican demographic that wants to follow them, that wants to vote for them, that watches Fox News. Okay, that's not half the country. The other people in this... Let me finish. Please let me finish.
Okay.
The other people are simply trying to live their goddamn lives through a fucking pandemic. Let's not forget what happened in the last 3 years. This whole fucking world shut down. They shut down. People lost their jobs. People lost their housing. People are hungry. Do you remember the pictures of all the food that rotted in fields and the long lines at food banks and food giveaways? Yes. People were desperate. They ain't paying attention to these fuckers.
The thing is, we need to get the message out. As little progress as we've made, we just got a fantastic jobs report.
Here's the thing, John. Trump allowed that shit to go down for the last 3 years of his presidency. He allowed the fucking pandemic to get out of control.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
We would not have the death toll that we have now had Trump acted sooner. Hell, he was left a pandemic playbook. He threw it away.
But the census is what gives the Republican legislatures their cue to go ahead and do what the fuck that they're doing now. Yes. That shit was rigged from the get. We knew
Texas
he was
picked up too.
And
the places that got seats, most of them are Republican. So we stand. This discussion about the midterms. This is really becoming quite crucial because yes, they have the possibility to take the House of Representatives and the Senate if they play their game. If we do, but here's the deal. Here's where I'm really pissed off. It's not only the maggot crowd out there. It's not only the Republican. It is the Republican leadership, the congressmen and senators, governors, and all this shit that allow this to fester, that feed into it for their own gain, and to the detriment of our country.
This is the only way that they can stay in power.
It is.
These fuckers don't give a shit about this country.
They don't give a shit about the
people of this country.
They don't give a shit about anything except for power itself. That's it.
That's it.
They want the power, and they want to keep it.
Understand something. Our Congress is full of old white men. They see the demographic of this country changing. And if it changes and the vote changes, they're out of power.
So they're trying to do everything they can to convince every red-blooded, white, redneck-loving soul that they have to stand up for freedom and all. It's a bunch of bullshit. They say sell them, but they sell it well to them. It's up to us to set the agenda. That's what we need to be doing, is setting the agenda, not them.
They sell it well because they have the money backing them to sell it.
Yeah, where's that money coming from?
You cannot get anything passed unless Wall Street approves of it. That's
it.
It ain't even about Wall Street. Trust me, it ain't about Wall Street. You have
Well, a lot of
a
it is.
few billionaires in this country who have bought our fucking Republican Party, and they're
That's
going
what
to
I'm
try
saying.
to keep it that. That ain't Wall Street.
When I say Wall Street, who I'm
That ain't Wall
referring
Street.
when I
It's the
say
money that's
Wall
empowering
Street,
it is.
who I'm referring to is every market in that Wall Street. I'm talking pharma. I'm talking oil. I'm talking
Indeed.
everything on Wall Street. When I say Wall Street,
Your government,
I mean every
your
corporation.
government,
Look, it's a capitalist country. It runs on capitalism.
And it
It's-
thrives on
your
it.
government
But
has
the-
become,
Built
the
on
government,
capitalism.
Hold on,
government
one at
has
a time.
become a department of people control. The government has become a department of people control for the wealthy, the mega wealthy. They're not a government for the people. It's a government for the mega wealthy to control the public and feed them the propaganda. That's how it's became. It's become an arm of the wealthy's company.
And
They've bought
Bernadette,
the government, as Bernadette said. They've bought the government. Putin bought what's the joke? Putin bought Donald Trump, got a whole Republican
Got a whole
money.
party.
Yep.
Yeah, he bought Trump, got the whole
Yep.
party. Yeah, and we've seen that transformation. We've seen it since 2018 when all these Republicans went to Russia on July 4th and came back a changed man. Lindsey Graham was one of them. You know, they came back changed people, and they've been pro-Russia ever since. You know,
Bernadette, the census, you're spot on. But the census is just the latest in a 30-year chipping away
The census,
at
the
this.
census was not spot on. The census was
Your
rigged.
point
They
on the
shut-
census. Your
Oh,
Yeah.
point
thank you.
on the
Thank
census
you.
was
I
spot
appreciate
on.
that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
That was
But
just
they
that was just a problem du jour. This has been happening one
You
issue
had-
at
you
a
had-
time.
you had Wilbur Ross running the census. What does that tell you?
yeah. Well,
This is
let
the
me
biggest
send out a
problem.
quick thank you out there to Catman56, who came over with a $3 donation and said if we would build to a Star Trek worldview, not reliving World War II into World War III, how much better would it be as humans and the world be? How much better off would we be if we weren't spending all our time trying to kill each other? That's the way it is, though, Keith. That's what we do, baby.
And Bill Joyce says in the YouTube chat, walk the walk. Don't just talk
Don't
the
talk
talk.
it, baby.
Get involved and make a difference.
That is,
We
you know,
can do this.
it is the
We
key.
can do this.
That is the key, because the realization to the questions that we're asking is how do we fix this shit? That is within our power. It always has been. It's sort of like Dorothy getting all the way to the end before the witch tells her, hey, just clack your feet together, you can go home. We've always had the power within ourselves to determine the direction our country goes in. We just have to exercise it more. And in an off year, we have a bad habit in this country during the midterms, just not to pay attention. And if you do, it's glancatory, and you just say, well, we're not doing too good right now, inflation, so I'm paying more for gas. Boom. And you vote based on that. And that bothers me because of the situation we are in, not only here in the United States, but around the world. The idea of where democracy comes from and where it is born from. It comes from shared sacrifice. And I don't know, you hear, and I'm just like everybody else. I'm concerned about the price of gas I'm paying because hell, I got limited supply of money. So you always have to worry about it. But even if it were to come down to I ain't got shit for gas, I'm not willing to turn loose of those values that I hold dear to this country and that I serve this country for. It is that thing that was driven into me from my father when he was in the Navy. Semper Fortis. Not for self, but for country. That's not what your country can do for you.
You know what changed this country in the 70s? People in the fucking street. People in front of the
That's what changed it, baby. In the 60s and 70s, people were in the street.
People in front of the Supreme Court. Out there day and night,
Exactly.
week after week after week. That's what changed the Supreme Court. These fuckers up there, Jesus Christ,
So when you
They're in
ask that
power
question,
right
well,
now.
when did our voice ever count? What is my voice? When I can't
That's
change
when
the
it's
Supreme
on.
Court. I can't change. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
It's when you
We've done
put
it
those
before.
voices together. with like-minded people and come together and raise your voice, then yes, things change. But sadly, there has to be an outrage. There has to be a trigger point for that.
Wade came about because people stood in front of the Supreme Court day in and day out, month after month, and said, "No, you're going to listen to us. Our government is supposed to be we the people, not we the elected officials that got
It's
enough
a government
money to,
of the people.
fuck over everybody else.
That's what we have, a government of
We
the people.
we make our voices
We
heard. If
we
you're not
select those
calling
citizens
your
that we want to see out of our community advance into our leadership. That's where we're supposed to get this stuff from. We're supposed to look around and go, hey, well, Bob's over there. He's a pretty smart fella. Let's get his ass up there. But we have to pay attention to it.
By complaining about it, John. We cannot just change it by complaining. We got to get out there. We got to get the kids more active.
I can tell you firsthand, writing letters isn't doing it either.
No.
My representatives know me by name. Writing letters, they laugh
Yeah,
those off.
my representative knows me too. I don't even have to write no more. He just has to tune in every once in a while, or he's got one of his assholes telling him, hey, this guy's a problem. And I am.
I'm a big candidate. I'm a big supporter of compulsory voting. That way, you're guaranteed the people's voice and not the powerful's voice.
Unless people stand up and raise their voices, it's not going to be heard.
You have to drag them to the water hole and make them drink. Otherwise, they'll fucking dry of thirst.
Unfortunately, a lot. Yeah.
Voting is compulsory, and no one bitches or complains about it. And if you can't get to a voting station, and you don't want to be fined $100, you can just fill out a simple form, make a simple phone call, go to genuine reason, you're okay. If you're not near your home, you can vote absentee. There's so many ways to give the people the voice. The problem in America is they're taking your opportunity to make your voice heard away. But you can still, this year, you can still vote. I mean, at the end of the year, they say, oh, Trump's going to take the midterms and all these January 6th committees going to go away. And it's going to be the end of the, it's going to be, it would be doom and gloom if you don't fucking vote. But you know what? If you had compulsory voting 10 years ago in America, you wouldn't be here right now.
You know what my idea was, Dave? Here's what my idea was. I think we ought to make voting day, election day, a national holiday. Now, here's the rub.
Bingo.
Here's the rub. If you vote, they give you a little slip there. You voted. There you go. If you vote, it's a paid holiday. If you don't vote, I'm sorry, bub. Just taking the day off. You ain't getting paid for shit.
Hey, John.
Huh.
How about this one? How about this one? How about a campaign to get Congress just to pass voting rights bill? The voting rights bill, because without that, if we had a voting rights bill in the federal government right now, it would negate all this bullshit.
And why aren't we getting that through?
Republicans are doing it.
Because of the filibuster. That's why.
Yes.
So there's a number one thing we need to do. We need to be serious about this shit. The filibuster is not written into the Constitution. It's not written into shit. It's a rule made up by Congress, and Congress can do away with it. I'm tired of the bullshit that we have to sit and watch die on the floor of the Senate. Great ideas that come out of the House, including the For the People Act, H.R. 1, all these acts that came through the House, and they die in the Senate because of the filibuster.
That's where bills go to die.
That's where bills go to die. And it's bullshit. We have so much trouble trying to advance this country into anything because of that bullshit, because it's all political in nature. No high-speed rail. Number one, in my list all the time. Oh, you shitting me? Everybody's got it around the world. We ain't got it. Why? Because we can't get Congress to pass the shit. Anyway, they don't give a fuck. They're making more money from the oil and gas industry, so they don't want you on mass transit. They want your ass driving a car.
And that's what gets heard, is the money from these people lobbying our elected officials.
Citizens United, another reason we should go vote. You know?
How the fuck does the mega rich become double wealthy since the pandemic started? The filthy rich have become
wealthier.
Richer,
yes,
richer.
The wealthier have gotten wealthy have gotten wealthier during this pandemic. They've made a boatload more money. while your ass lost your job, have to pay more for everything. They're raking in dough. We pointed out today again on Tim's show, I pointed out how much the oil companies are making in profit. You want to know why gas prices are high? Because they love money. That's it. They love money.
John, explain this to me.
What?
I get that it's all about money. I get that it's all about lobbying. I kind of touched on it earlier, but it's way, way, way fucking beyond that. Tell me why Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water.
Well, we're getting around to that shit. Don't worry about it. We're going to fix that. Don't worry about it. We'll vote on it next year. Shit.
Here's one even better. How come nobody has been prosecuted because Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water?
Right.
Because the government, the local government there poisoned the people.
Because it was about business. It was about money. It wasn't about the purity of the water, the safety of the community. It's about money. It's always about fucking money. It's always about money.
The more informed you are as a voter as to whom you're putting in office, the better voter you become.
Yes.
Trouble is, Bernadette, they lie to you. They stand up there and say, vote me in and I'll do it.
It ain't about lying. It's about people doing their own damn research instead of being just told.
Well, nowadays, they almost have to be fed it.
Do your research and get the information you need to become an informed voter.
That's all. And it doesn't take much nowadays. It doesn't take.
God damn
they got elected. I'm sure when they put their hand up and when spoke to the electoral and said we want to be elected and we're going to do this, they're doing nothing like they promised. Mansion and cinema. They're doing.
Look at Bobart and look at the Republican Party's lineup.
Yes.
That's what amazes me. We can't win against these bozos. Are you shitting me?
Exactly.
You know?
They're yelling during Biden's speech. They're howler monkeys. They're just fucking howler monkeys sitting in seats in the halls of.
We should be able to walk through the midterms and pick up seats in both the House and in the Senate.
It should be a blue
Ron
wave.
Johnson up in Wisconsin. Are you shitting me? We can't take that seat? You know, that's what I mean. When I talk about it's, are we that country? Can we do this shit? Because it seems like there's a whole lot of them out there that just would toss it to them, waving a flag, and it's a bumper sticker. It has no meaning to them. It kills me because they I got them all around me to wave the flag and all this shit. Patriotic motherfuckers. Are you shitting me? No, you're not.
Whose propaganda is stronger, ours or Russia's?
There you go. That's what it's down to right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is it this authoritarian view that they like over there on the right? That they get the power and they'll decide everything? Yeah. That's what kind of fight we're in here.
I don't know what the Republican voters think they're going to get, John. I don't know what the Republican voters think they're going to get if they put Trump back in. What are you going to achieve by putting him back in? That's
a very good question, Dave.
You're not going to get your health care.
No, you're not going to get health care. They don't have a platform. They could give a shit about health care, infrastructure, or any fucking thing else.
Exactly.
Except maybe, get away with get rid of that gay marriage thing. Make sure that critical race theory doesn't come in anywhere. And, gay marriage, no, we can't have none of that. That's what they're after. And it's ridiculous. They gave a poll between Republicans and Democrats. Who's going to be more upset if the Republicans get in and try to do away with Roe v. Wade? All right, if the Republicans come in and they want to challenge Roe v. Wade, which they do, and they think they have a court that might be able to do it, well, where do the people stand, Republicans and Democrats? Well, believe it or not, we're pretty fucking solid on both sides. Around 60% of Republicans and around 60% of Democrats all agree that that if the court does that, it's outrageous. They disagree with that trying to overturn Roe v. Wade. There are some things like Roe v. Wade. They're intrinsic in our society now, and to try to repeal them it would be like trying to take away Social Security.
But they're going to do it anyway.
They are going to try, and they could.
Just
They could
just
by
like
their
they're
majority
going
on the
to try
court.
to take away Social Security also.
They're trying to privatize Social Security. Like play the stock market with the money. Hey, you might win, you might lose. Who knows? I guarantee you're gonna lose.
And they'll own the shares. They'll be the first ones in there with all the shares and their mates and their crony friends. No one will get the opportunity. Like when they privatised over here the power company or the power grid, and a couple of other things, the water and that. The people were promised.
You're right,
you
Robert.
will be able to buy shares and they were sold. You'll have an investment in your own water company, your own power company. You'll be able to buy shares. Well, let me tell you, when the shares came up and all that crap, the millionaires bought the lot. No, the little man didn't get a chance to buy a lot at all, if any. He might have got to buy. When it was released, the shares were 50 cents each. Within the first five hours or so, up to $5 each. You just can't compete with that, Mr. Average. You can't have a stake in your own power company at $5 a share. But Mr. Billionaire can, and they end up owning the power company. This is what they do. Let's put it on the market. We know that the little man can't afford it, but us rich guys can own the power company.
Oligarchs.
No competition.
I'm late on this. Let me send out a thank you to Catman56 who came in with another donation and said, Semper Fi, even as a person of color, I love this country and have fought for us all. Thank you for your service, my friend. And Semper Fi, hoorah! Out to Keith. It's a Marine thing.
What was that, Michael?
Your voting laws over there, aren't you penalized? Aren't you taxed or something if you don't go vote? Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's a $100 fine if you don't vote, but you don't have to pay the fine if you've got a good reason, or if you're sick, or if
But you have to give a reason.
Bush. But there's so many voting opportunities or places in Australia. Every school virtually is a voting station. You've got mail-in voting, but yes, it's compulsory. But the people don't bitch about it. They don't say, "Oh, it's freaking voting day." Always on a Saturday. It's always on a Saturday, and no one complains, mate. They just do their job, and we get a 90% turnout of voting.
Outstanding.
That's what democracy is supposed to look like.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Exactly.
But here you're given a choice. Nobody's going to force you to go vote. Right now it's not mandatory.
Because they don't want people to vote. And if they can suppress the vote, that keeps them in power. They don't want people to vote in this country.
To put it in Republican words, it's not about the quantity of the vote. It's about the quality of the vote.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they want to determine.
Rich people.
Whose vote do we count? Because, poor people, they don't know shit. Get them out of the way. We'll take these more substantial
I've said this
people.
time, guys.
Where you going?
Look, guys, the simple matter of the fact is that if you don't get out and get somebody registered to vote and take them to go vote, and we don't make our voices heard in the streets of this freaking country, and trust me, they're trying to get protesting illegal also. So be careful about what you do.
The right of the people to gather and to address their government. Yeah.
They don't care about the Constitution and the legality of their laws that they are passing now. I'll say it again. Once they get the laws on the books, you could fight for the next 2, 3, 4 decades to get that law stricken off the books. But just to get it there is their mission, is their goal.
And in a lot of states, it's already there.
On the books.
So
yes.
This is where we really have to, this is where you stand up, baby. This is where the courage comes in. This is where the dedication comes in. That if you live in states like Texas that are doing their damnedest to make it harder for you to vote, make it only a few places to vote, limiting the time you can vote, anything they could do to harass you and make it harder, you have to overcome that. And believe me, I feel it duty that you should get out there and vote. It is not a requirement, but it's an obligation of faith to the Constitution itself and to this democracy. Sure, it's going to take some time out of your day. I am lucky. I don't have to wait in line. Go down, zip in a vote, get out real quick. I can do that. A lot of people in this country can't, And I am so proud every time I see election season come around and I see people standing in line to vote. Nothing makes me feel more patriotic than seeing that. That's courage, baby. That's determination. That's persistence. That's what we have to show. And you have to be willing to do that. You have to be. Because if not, you're failing that obligation to this country. There's no mandatory service in this country. That is your service. That you should volunteer every time. You know, I sometimes I do think there should be mandatory service in this country. Maybe not all military. There's a lot of ways to serve your country. We have a lot of programs, a lot of departments in this country that could use a helping hand. But we don't. We leave it up to our own conscience to do that. So that's what I'm asking you to do, is to listen into that conscience, to listen to that inner you that tells you it's the right thing to do. And it's a voice in our country. I'm sorry, go ahead.
We have to get your voice to as many ears as mainstream media has, because they're not hearing this story, John. We're the last holdouts for democracy. We're the last.
Michael, it's too cliche for.
Mainstream media is entertainment. It's not news. They're not going to run.
You know, I was on
story that people need to get out and protest their government.
That's my point. That's exactly my point.
And it's not just Fox News. Let's get this straight. It is not just Fox.
No, it's not.
It is CNN. It's other ones. You know, I tell people all the time, next thing I know out of CNN, I'm going to see a banner up there that says fair and balanced. Because it seems like every time they report a story, hell, they just did it the other day. Well, you know, the job report came in. It's fantastic. Unemployment is down to pre-pandemic levels. You know, but Joe Biden's numbers are down in the poll, down in the tank over here. So, you know, it doesn't really matter because, you know, Republicans are going to win. You know, it's bullshit. It's MSNBC hiring, not MSNBC. It was something, one of the fucker ones, whichever one just hired Mick Mulvaney. What station? One of the networks just hired Mick Mulvaney, saying they wanted a insight into the Republican view because they think the Republicans are going to take the House in this year, and they want to have an inroad. Really, Mick Mulvaney, that dick, that lying piece of shit? Are you shitting me?
Chris Wallace from Fox just
CBS.
Went over to CNN.
Thank you.
CBS. Chris Wallace from Fox just went to CNN for a podcast. He has his own podcast on CNN now.
Hey, look, those fuckers, they don't care. The hosts of those shows, they don't care which corporation they work for, just so long as they continue to make their millions of dollars.
Money. That's what I'm saying.
They don't care where it comes from.
John, we're the last holdouts. And
progressive media needs to be uplifted. But you know what?
I try to
there's so much money in right-wing radio right now. It ain't even funny.
There's no money in left-wing media. You know,
and progressive media.
Yeah, progressive shows.
There's no money in that. We're supporting John. We're supporting Robin. We're supporting the other.
It's small
here on YouTube.
It is through small donations and stuff that shows like Robin Kincaid, like this one, still continue. There ain't nobody rushing over to Robin Kincaid, and damn sure ain't come to me and said, "Hey, John, we want to give you this boatload of fucking money here. All you got to do is say X, Y, Z here, and we'll be happy with you." Ain't nobody doing that, and I wouldn't do it anyway. Because somebody has to stand out there and speak their mind of this shit. I get so worked up because of the people that like Robin Kincaid. West Virginia, baby, that's where her voice comes from. West Virginia. It is so important. Not only, you know, I'm proud of the fact that I'm in Texas and they're hearing this shit, because it's not all red. It's not all shit kicking rednecks down here. There's some great people in Texas. There's great people in West Virginia, and they need a voice. So yeah, it's
there's great people doing work all over this country. But we don't hear their voices because nobody's throwing money at them the way the Republican Party is throwing money at right-wing voices.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
Seriously, I think Robin, at the level where she's at, she should have.
Rogan used to be
FCC was deregulated,
Sure, go
and
on.
this is what we got for it. If I were to throw all the dots out to put the picture of fascism out, you wouldn't have to connect them. It would be a complete picture of how far we are fucking gone in a fascist theocracy. Actually,
Yes.
religion's behind this.
We're not
too.
far from an oligarch society.
No, no.
We're
No,
not far
we
from
are
that.
an oligarch society.
We have certain people that
are
control
now.
major parts of our society, our infrastructure, our very lives are in the hands of really
We
very
have
few
been-
people when you start
We
looking
have
at it.
been an oligarch society for a while now.
Truth
They're called
Social.
corporations.
What is that,
They're
Bernadette?
called big. Truth Social.
What is that?
Is Donald
What is it?
Trump's Twitter.
Is
That's
that-
fucking falling on its fucking face. Ah ha ha ha. That's some funny shit.
That is some funny shit, because what do you expect? The only people are going to go over there are maggots. And like I say, we're talking about maybe, when you come right down to hardcore,
Devin Nunes-
maybe
Devin
28%
Nunes left his seat in Congress
to do that.
to go and do Truth Social.
ignorance
and that
is
shit's falling
just-
on its face.
It's amazing. The ignorance is amazing. But, Devin Nunes, there's not enough you could say about that dickhead. The crap he did while Obama was in office. No.
If you want to get the news today, you have to go to Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, those guys.
That's
there,
right.
like them.
Yeah, I
Lots of
never
that.
miss
That's where you
Stephen
get the
Colbert
best.
at night. I like to watch him every night. I used to watch. Go ahead.
I get my comedy.
You get your news from your comedy.
I get my comedy from
Yeah,
my
you
news.
get
I
your
get my
news from the
news from my
comedians today.
comedy.
Ain't it sad? Ain't
Yeah.
it sad? Yes. And I said on Tim's show today, look at Zelensky. Look at this guy. Talk about a fucking leader. He's a comedian. Maybe we ought to look in the same direction. Jon Stewart, I'd back him in a heartbeat. Are you shitting me, smart man? He's in it for
John,
the right
I don't
reasons.
want another comedian. I don't want another actor. I want somebody who's going to take this government falling into fascist hands fucking serious.
I believe Jon Stewart would do that. I do. I've seen him go up against the Congress and Senate.
I've been following his podcast lately. The man is brilliant.
He
okay?
is. He's got the
brilliant.
right things in his
However,
heart.
He would work better in the Senate.
Oh, yeah, he could do a lot in the Senate.
Yes,
Well, we have
exactly.
we had Franken, but he had a humorous bone to him and took a picture in that vein and had to quit over that shit. The
Yeah.
Republican Party and the Democrat Party play by two completely different rules.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well, they had cocaine
Yeah,
parties,
this is-
cocaine and sex parties.
and the Republicans, they don't care.
I remember it was 2015. I was watching an interview on mainstream media of Bernie Sanders. They were in the middle of the interview and they cut a live interview because a Kardashian did something and they had to cover that instead of Bernie Sanders talking. Our serious guys that will change something are never going to be allowed to the platform. It's already that far gone. The media switched because a Kardashian burped.
I never
Stop
understood that.
electing
I have
celebrities
never
and start
understood that.
electing people who are qualified. People who are qualified need to be elected, not celebrities.
But it's the
People who are
celebrities
living
that
the life.
that
People
That's
think
what I'm
they
saying.
can
the
play
money,
the
right,
part.
Yes.
Bernie Sanders was being interviewed for running for president.
and
And
interrupted
the
by Kim
propaganda-
Kardashian's ass.
The propaganda media switched to Kardashian.
Might have been a lineage.
That wasn't an accident. That
Look at
wasn't some-
right now. Look what's going on with the atrocities that we see coming out of Ukraine. Day after day, seeing the way Mariupol has been just devastated. Thousands upon thousands of people dead. It seemed like last week there was more fuss about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock
Yeah.
than there was anything else.
Yeah.
And that's not to
yeah,
say
and
that
I'm
you don't
thinking
take the
that-
time out to comment on social things like that happen. but it's the degree that people got into it and made it so important. When there are things going on that you need to be outraged about.
Clarence Thomas's wife. I mean,
Indeed.
You know, when Chris Rock takes precedence over that kind of shit.
And
the rich want to know about their own clan.
Time out, guys.
Ah.
Excuse me, I need to do some moderating here. John,
Okay.
we have 3 people in the audience that want to come in and raise their voices, and I'm gonna hop out so that other voices can be heard. Okay?
Yeah, me too. I'm going to jump out too because I'm getting pissed off and I've said too much.
Well, that's when we want you to talk, is when you're pissed off. Let me see if I can get
All right.
everybody in here. That's when the truth comes out. That's when our emotions, get hold of us. Well, as a rule, most of the time. Anyway, Bernadette, thank you very much. Michael, I appreciate your voice so much, brother. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And
These discussions are the best part of my day, brother.
well,
you.
good. Come back and have one every day. I
Absolutely.
got a message from I'm going to call him out, David Badass, up in Chicago. Come on the show, brother. I miss you, David Robinson. Anyway, had a talk with Anthony Robinson today, aka the Chief. Had a good phone call with him today. I like to stay in touch with our Blue Dots. Anyway, Kathy, are you in here?
We're here.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Good. Always glad to hear that.
Just kind of doing, I'm doing the same thing I was doing the last time you called. I'm writing listings for eBay.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of it. Anyway. Keith, are you in here with us also? Oh, wait, I got 2 Keiths. Catman56, are you in the room?
Catman56 checking in.
How
bro.
you doing, brother?
Hey, all good.
I got to remember I got 2 Keiths in the room right now.
Just add in the 5'6"
Yeah.
at the back.
Keith
You're
5'6".
good. Yep.
There you go. Everything going well up there in Minnesota?
I just wanted to pipe in.
If you can even get one of those never mind.
Go ahead, Kathy. Go ahead. You can get one of them Keiths to do what?
You get one of those keys to pay attention and answer, you'll be all set. That's all you need.
That's all I need, baby. That's all I need. That and this chair. And this lamp.
There you go.
And this pen. That's all I need, and this mouse. That's all anyway. Lord have mercy. Who didn't make it? I thought I got everybody in here. Oh, there's Curtis. Curtis Wood, are you with us?
I'm here.
How you doing, brother? Oh, look at there. We done lost Keith. We done lost one of the Keiths immediately. Curtis, how's everything up your neck of the woods?
Well, it's getting better.
Getting better is always a good thing.
I hope I didn't make Catman mad.
I've only got. I only have one more week to make a worldwide fool of myself here on the show because going back to work on second shift and I'm going to end up missing shows all week.
Oh, you're gonna have to catch us on rerun, or
I guess so.
you have to. But your voice, type in the chat, buddy. We'll know you're there. We're gonna miss your ass. Really, going on second shift, huh? Well, I worked it for years, brother. I hated it.
I hate it too.
Yeah, you get home in time to go to bed, and then you wake up in time to just, I don't know, brush your teeth, see a little something, then it's time to get ready to go to work. Your social life just dies.
Yeah, that's it.
But you got to do what you got to do. Let me take a moment to thank Keith Beal because he's in the room with us. Thank you, Keith and Kathy. Came in with a $5 donation and said, upon graduation from high school, every 18-year-old should spend 2 years in service to our country, then go to another school or go to work or whatever. And Keith, I'm telling you, brother, there's a lot of Israel does it. Everybody has to serve.
Exactly.
It is. I believe in it, and like I said, it wouldn't necessarily have to be military service. There are a lot of shit across our a whole spectrum of jobs that could be done by young people and everywhere. Healthcare, shit, you name it. And when I say go name it, then I can't think anymore. But anyway. It does. Think of the possibilities of that. But I think we should do more. Higher education nowadays. The high school is public education because at a certain time in our history we decided, well, you need a high school education at least to get a goddamn job. So we're going to make everybody free public education right up here at a high school level. You get your high school diploma, but we're not saying that anymore. Nowadays, the voices you hear are saying you need a college degree to enter the job market, and we should accommodate that. Community colleges should be free. They're public colleges anyway. Your tax dollars are paying for them anyway. So yeah, we should have free college. We try to send them to school now and saddle them with a damn big old debt that some finance company is making a boatload of money on.
The vocational training.
Vocational training. There's so many the things that they could do in national service. But can you imagine the outrage if somebody tried to bring it up? It's we're not that I don't think we're the country we think we are. There would be a hell of a fight against national service. They would frame it as in, I don't know, they'd use Hitler in some way. This is a threat to our democracy, and Hitler did this, blah, blah, blah. Something like that has to be born of national pride, and I think that's why Israel doesn't have a problem with it. It's a form of national pride that you serve. I say it all the time, less than 1%. 1% of our population enters the military. So we have always relied on very small percentage of our population to defend us and to carry this democracy on their backs. We ask so much of them, and it's sad that we don't treat them better. There shouldn't be a homeless vet. There should not be a fucking homeless vet in this country, but believe me, they're all over the place. They're everywhere.
There shouldn't be a vet in need of anything.
No.
Anywhere in the country. Whether it's food, clothes,
yeah.
And if we can't even take care of 1% of the population, how in hell are we going to take care of the rest of us?
Well, there's the eternal question. We got lots for a military budget. Veterans. Well, we'll try to save a few bucks over there. Yeah, it is. It's but again, this everything stems from our desire to get it. There's so many things in our future that could happen if we're bold enough to go for them. If we're bold enough to put the legislation through. If we're bold enough to take action. But that again has to stem from the people. It has to, our politicians have to be pushed. It seems to do the right thing. So we need to push them. You're right. $7.25 an hour minimum wage. Are you shitting me? Hell, 15 right now. It's not going to get you a long way. You're still at poverty wages, damn near. You're still having a hard time putting food on the table. Are you shitting me?
And if your Happy Meal costs $15, what the hell's the difference if it costs $17?
Yeah.
That brings to mind that where we do have power, not just our voices, where we spend our money.
Indeed.
Where we spend our money. If you want to shop at Walmart and get things a couple bucks cheaper, just realize that those workers have to rely on welfare or food stamps or whatever, and the Walton family
it's rolling in the dough.
Whatever it is, $500 million a day each. Go to Costco.
Did you know that the Rothschild family was the other day they added up all their value and their wealth, and the Rothschild family is worth $2 trillion. That's with a T. $2 trillion, and they don't pay fuck all tax. This is where it's upside down. This is where that pyramid thing is upside down. to have $2 trillion in value, not obviously in cash, but to have 2 trillion and pay next to no or no tax, like many of the others, the Bezoses and all those, is where it's fucked up. And that's why the little man's got to push the barrow. He's got to work twice as hard because the guy he's working for won't pull their fucking weight. They're using your roads and your bridges and all those infrastructures that make their trucks get to their goods to the shops and to make their money, but they don't want to put a cent in towards that stuff, but they want to tear it up and use it up. This is where Biden's tax for the mega rich, the idea, but getting it through Senate, good luck. That's a problem.
George Carlin had a good question. Rather than a minimum wage, shouldn't we have a maximum? You know, shouldn't there be a cap?
There should be, and it should be applied to CEOs of healthcare companies and defense contractors. Yeah, there should be a maximum wage. But that's not the American way, my friend. The American way is capitalistic system. Get what you can. Rise as high as you can. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Smack everybody else down and make as much money as you possibly can. The American
if my
way.
neighbors heard me, they'd be...
Put a bumper sticker on your fucking car. Get on down the road.
And the people that say that are silver spooners.
Yes.
The people that say that are silver spooners. They're not. They didn't get up in the morning and only have 10 cents to them, and 5 years later they're millionaires or billionaires. No. They were bought into the money. They were given the money, and that gives them the right to say the only way to do it, guys, is work hard. Yeah, right.
Yeah, isn't that what Kardashian just recently said? You just have to work harder. Really, coming out of her mouth. Let me thank Nana Lovely, a.k.a. Tammy Ames, came in with a $5 donation and said, remember, Sunday at 1:11 in the afternoon, honorary mention to Eva Adams. I hope this event brings a touch of comfort to your family and hashtag condolences. Holy shit. Thank you, Nana Lovely. And what happened to Eva Adams? I don't know why. There must be something horrible that happened in Eva's family, and I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to check that out. And y'all know? No?
Well, Eva hasn't been around for a little while. I hope she's
She's been in Germany. I mean, she's in Germany, but yet she was here not long ago. Not on the show, but I've seen her in the chat and whatnot. I don't know. I'm going to have to find out where yeah. His family's pretty close. Uh-oh.
Maybe someone in the room knows.
Yeah.
If anyone
We'll find out.
knows.
I'll look into it and find out. But our heart is always with Eva. Eva's a fantastic woman who uses her voice over in Germany, and occasionally we're lucky enough to hear it. But
I got to say how much I appreciate that. Dave in Australia, Hank in the Netherlands, I believe.
Yeah.
People outside the country that are paying attention to what's happening here, because
I'm very appreciative of that. I always say we appreciate Aussie's voice and Hank's voice, that perspective from outside the nation, outside our bubble.
Canada.
Yeah.
You give me hope, Dave. You give me hope, brother.
Well, I'm not the only Australian. When I look at some of the comments on a lot of the YouTube clips that I look at, there's a lot of Australian voices in there saying this is not right, and etc. And a lot of other countries as well. But the whole world's got a bit of a stake in this in some way, shape, or form. But no one wants to see America flip and basically become another Russia.
Yeah. Let me put a call out to Lion of Judah, Lion of Judea. If I knew what I was doing, brother, you'd already be on here, but I don't. And my tech guy is not here this evening, so I apologize if you've had trouble. Oh my God, Nana Lovely just came back in with another $2 donation. You didn't have to do that, baby. Could put it in the chat. And said Eva's grandson knows a family found in the rubble.
Oh God.
That you know, it's
That's
heartbreaking.
Disgusting. Putin assassinated. He assassinated all those young people because they could fight in the army.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I understand that he's having a little hard time. There's a lot of conscripts don't want to show up. They're you know, these are young 18-year-olds. They're not stupid. They have ways to get into social media. They found out what's going on in Ukraine, and now with the stories, I'll tell you what, with the stories coming out right now, out of Bucha, there's no denying these are war crimes. These are, this is beyond the pale.
Absolutely.
When you find a person with hands tied behind their back and their head cut off, kids have been, they're saying they're finding evidence of torture before death. What kind of sick fucks they got in the Russian army is what I want to know.
And they have found naked women's bodies laying in the street shot. So what happened to them before they got shot?
Yeah, you can only imagine.
This is real Gestapo stuff. It's real Third Reich, isn't it?
Yes.
Really.
It is the way that they're conducting this war. It is total destruction both on infrastructure and human lives. It's devastating to watch. When you look at it like a city like Mariupol, there ain't nothing left. The destruction of towns and small cities across southern Ukraine. Ukraine. It is devastating to look at. What are these people going to go home to? It's beyond the pale. There was no reason for this to begin with, and we all know it. Ukraine didn't do jack shit to Russia. This is all one man's power play. And I am right there with Joe Biden. I don't care how it happens. I don't care if somebody in Russia slips up and sticks a knife in his back. I don't really give shit. The faster they do it, the happier I'd be.
Here.
Because it's one man that we're doing this shit.
He's a butcher.
Yes, he is. He's a madman. And he's just hell-bent on trying to save some kind of dignity out of this bullshit. And there's no way for it. There's no way Russia comes out a winner in this crap. And we can't let them keep the Donbass or the Crimea. Always want to say Crimea. I know it. I have Cremora in my cup every morning with my coffee, but the word is just stuck in my mouth.
Hey, this is Keith from Minnesota.
Hello, Keith. How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
Okay.
Hey,
what?
Just a quick snapshot. Okay. I did ROTC in Chicago. Okay. Our basic operations was to take care of community. Now we are seeing how the military is watching the destruction of these towns. Well, I think if people were more concerned about taking care of each other and seeing what can happen, we would be a lot more empathetic.
Indeed, my friend. And
what amazes me is that half America want to support a man that rings Putin and says he wants Putin's help to get dirt on his opposition in political. I mean, surely the American people must look at Trump and say, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
What the fuck? You're bringing an enemy of the country that's currently committing war crimes and treating him like a friend, and you want to vote him into your country? What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck, indeed. But it's all of us. We all have to take part in this shit. Anyway, I just looked down at my clock. We've hit a little overtime here.
Remember when Russia was dealing with Syria?
Yes.
Now Russia is importing Syrian fighters.
Yes.
Remember the pictures of what happened during that time to the people that lived there?
I remember Aleppo real well.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
And these people that were taken to the street and shot and left, that's what they did there, okay?
It's terrorism. It is not only they want to destroy the infrastructure, they want to terrorize the people. As a matter of
Remember
fact,
how that
Zelensky came out and called it genocide today. The president of Ukraine accused Russia of genocide. And what else can you call 300 people in a mass grave? What can you call the indiscriminate shelling of civilian population, apartment buildings, schools, hospitals? What do you call that?
Killing people.
That's exactly what it is. It has no military value to it. They are trying to wipe out not only an infrastructure, but a people. They want them submissive, begging for their life.
And we're going to let them do it.
No, we can't. I'm Keith. There's two. Like I said, there's two sides of me, buddy. And that old military side of me comes out saying, "Okay, baby, fuck it, let's go, crank it up, let's cross the border ourselves and run his ass back to Russia."
Yep. You want some? Get some.
That's where my heart lies. Do we want to do that? No. It's going to cause an international World War III, nukes going flying around, everything looks bad. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that Joe Biden knows the difference of my anger and then saying, "Let's go kick tires and light the fires," and the nuance that has to be carried out. I know it, brother. It's so easy, baby. Lock and load. Let's go. It's that is in the heart of a lot of military people, because that's what we know. That's what when we see this shit on TV, what's happening, and I'm amazed of the courage of the Ukrainian people. I am pumped up for them. They have a president that is standing by them and just leading them in. They have a former president that is upholding the current president and marching his country forward. They have a unification going on over there. What do we got? Division, baby, right down the heartland, and still following a traitor, some of them. So we have a long way to go, baby, a long way to go. But I want to.
And they think they want a civil war here. I don't think they even know what this is going to look like.
No.
I don't think they have.
How these guys react in these situations is like, yeah, brother.
Yeah.
I could fit right in there with you.
Yeah. I swear. My son wants to go. And that's a conversation around the house nowadays.
I'm a little old.
Huh?
I know something. Okay.
So fuck it, if he goes, I'm going with him. That's what I told my wife. Fuck it, if he goes, I'm going with him. Somebody's got to hold his head. Anyway, let me come back in here and thank Nana Lovely, who came back in with another $2. Oh, what are you doing? $2 donation and said, "Come sing with me, Aussie." She loves the accent, brother. Look at you. I'm telling you. Dave's.
This Aussie doesn't sing, mate. I sing like a kookaburra.
It doesn't matter. You have that accent. You can sing like shit and they'd suck it up. Are you shitting me? I wish I sounded like you.
You know what it is.
And Nita Parker came in with a $5 donation and said, "But hey, they gave us daylight savings time and finally making lynching a crime after we had the pull teeth of it, and we ain't getting the daylight savings time until after the next cycle. And my congressman did not vote in the lynching bill." Michael Cloud, District 27 of Texas. What a suck ass. He was absent that day, unavailable to vote. Are you shitting me? He's an embarrassment to my state. Anyway, Nana Lovely came. Oh, listen at you. You better stop. Nana Lovely came back with another $2 donation and said, "No worries, JB. I have a new business. Only one customer, but hey." Well, don't spend all the profits here, baby, because she just came back with another $2 donation and said, "I need to patent Bernadette Pre's bathwater." No shit. She's working on the shower stuff now. Hope she gets that through. I'm telling you. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who donates to this show, who through Patreon, who I couldn't thank you people enough for being loyal to that. We are going to try to do some good things for our Patreon members to show our appreciation, because it is, as we talked earlier, we don't ask for donations on the show, but it is what keeps us floating, baby. I don't lie. I don't have any other income except this and my Social Security, my very meager retirement, and it's hard. So we appreciate it tremendously for everybody that donates a la carte or through Patreon. We hold you in our heart every month, baby. Your generosity just helps us. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming by and visiting this evening. Bernadette, thank you for coming by. And who else Who else jumped out? Somebody else jumped out.
I said I was going to, but I
Oh, well, you're the one. I'll blame it on you. You screwed up my head. Anyway,
that's right.
Michael, every time you come in, we appreciate it, brother. We appreciate your voice in here all the time.
To our brothers and sisters over the pond,
Over the pond.
thank you for being with us.
Oh,
We
man.
all have each other's back.
Always, brother. Keith, thank you for coming in, brother. Thank you for coming in, using your voice. And again, brother, Semper Fi. Hoorah. Live another
Yes,
day,
indeed.
baby.
Hurrah.
Indeed. And so, yeah, Keith, thank you very much. And Michael, again, thank you so much, brother, for coming in. We always appreciate your voice. And Keith and Kathy, always a pleasure.
Yes.
Always a pleasure. I need to call you. I'll try in the next day or two to get you. I got to get a phone call off to you.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'll get one off. I'm busy last few days. It was my anniversary. Did you hear? 40.
Anniversary.
Yeah, I said 45 years, baby. Got to work on the next 45. Anyway, Keith, Kathy, thank you so much for coming in. Curtis, thank you, bud, for coming in and sharing your voice. We always appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here.
Outstanding. And Aussie Dave, you and your accent. Boy, howdy.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, I know it.
And what I say
I can't
doesn't
compete
matter.
with that shit.
I just see
No.
you and go, wow, wow,
You
wow.
could just,
blah.
pick up a book and start reading it. We'd all just sit here and listen over it. Listen to that voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not just the
I'm gonna
accent,
start
Dave.
talking kookaburra.
It's your heart that comes through and your opinion that we treasure here. So thank you for coming by and joining us.
Thank you for
We
having me.
appreciate your opinion, brother. Anyway, for everybody in YouTube, on Facebook, thank you so much. On Twitter, which we started recently broadcasting back to Twitter, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. Again, try to remember that everything we dream of and hope for is within our power. All we have to do is exercise it. All we have to do is reach out and take it. So please keep that in mind. Election season is going to stay. Season's going to start. Are you shitting me? It never ends. Anyway, pay attention. It is. And again, Cassie X, thank you, baby. And thank you to everybody with the well wishes on our anniversary. She kept me another year. That's what amazes me. So I'm good to go for another year. Count it by the day, brother. Be thankful for everyone. And try to put a smile on your face and get through it, baby, because not every day is a good day. But it is what you make it, baby. So anyway, try to do your best. Y'all say goodnight to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. We'll be back
Good
here
night, everyone.
Tuesday for another Blue Dot family meeting. So please come by and join us. I will try to tell Travis that to check his message, make sure that we have the Lion of Judea be able to get in the room with us and join the conversation. That's why I'm trying to get in. And I don't know what I'm doing without my kid here. Are you shitting me? I'm just a mouth, brother. Anyway, thank you all. Y'all say good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
night.
We'll